What is your favorite cliche? Cliche has always been intimately linked with technology. The word itself was derived from the sound of stereotyped metal plates jumping when the ink dye is struck during the printing process. This process of mechanistic replication soon became synonymous with inauthentic thought, unoriginal sentiment, and uncritical acceptance. I'm writing this entry on March 19th, 2024, and we are currently in the throes of machine learning and artificial intelligence, AI, becoming widespread across all industries. The speed at which the world is changing ensures that any observations I make at this moment are sure to be dated by the time you read this or watch this. Nevertheless, AI forces us to wrestle with the concept of cliche. In an interview with the Harvard Business Review, Professor Karim Lakhani observes that whereas the internet browser dramatically lowered the cost of information transmission, generative AI will lower the cost of cognition to close to zero. So while the Internet Explorer allowed us to access the New York Times anywhere in the world and know what someone else thinks for almost free, generative AI allows us to articulate our own thoughts with far less effort. To put a slight dystopian twist on it, we can now outsource our thought process to AI. If we understand the concept of cliche to be one of mechanistic replication, a tool that lowers the cost of cognition would at first glance appear to be guaranteed path to hackneyed thinking at best and thought termination at worst. Yet I'd venture to say that this undercuts the power and importance of both cliche and artificial intelligence. In her book, A Director Prepares, the great theater director Anne Bogart devotes an entire chapter to the concept of putting a fire under a stereotype. She goes on to say, a stereotype is a container of memories, and that perhaps we can utilize the containers we inherit by filling them with our own wakefulness. We have long feared the cliche in Western society. Newness and novelty are golden tickets to authenticity, or so we're told. But Bogart claims instead that the most authentic and moving creations are not disconnected from cliche. Rather, they are rooted in cliche and stereotype, filled or set fire by our lived experience, and transcended in a new way. This turns the argument that AI is the end of creativity completely on its head. How many opportunities for innovation were left on the table because the cost of cognition required to move beyond our initial cliche ideas were simply too expensive? Perhaps generative AI is the means by which the world will put fire beneath our stereotypes, and in so doing, transcend them in ways we never thought possible. This won't happen naturally. It will require thoughtful application, mindful accountability, and courageous humility. But this was always the case with any new technology, going all the way back to a cliche rooted in the myth of Prometheus. If you play with fire, you're going to get burned. So, let's not play. Cliche doesn't have to be the termination of thought. If we handle it right, perhaps it's just the beginning.